Hello everyone and welcome to this Selenium Python Framework series. In this particular tutorial, we will learn about page update model design pattern. So let's begin. So far in this particular series, what we have learned is that what are the frameworks, and then we install the necessary things like Python and PyCharm. After that, we set up the project. Now, when we were setting up the project, I created a folder for the pages, and I told you that this is for the page object model. Now, what is page object model or the POM? So basically, it's a design pattern where each page of the application is represented as a class, and the UI elements of the page are defined as a variables, which are basically locators. Now, when we talk about the page object model, so the operations or the actions that can be performed on those elements are written as methods. Test scripts call these methods instead of directly interacting with the web elements. Now, what it means, if you are doing a linear scripting, what you will do is that you locate the element, then you perform the action, and everything is written in the test. So, this is a linear approach. And the problem with this linear approach is that tomorrow you have 100 test cases, and every test case is first logging into the application, performing the test, then logging out. Now, 100 test cases are repeating the same line of the code where they are logging in and logging out, the same steps. And if there is a change in any of these areas, for example, they have changed anything in the UI for the login functionality. Now, what you need to do is that you need to go to those 100 test cases and you need to update each and every test case. So, in order to avoid this kind of situation, we need to separate the locators and the methods in sense of which will doing some actions. Okay. Now, when we talk about the structure of the form, so basically we have page classes. So one class per web page. You need to remember this thing. So it contains two main things. One, to store the locators. For example, you are identifying the username field. The locator of that would be in that particular class. Similarly, any other elements on that web page should be in that particular class. Once you have located the elements, now you need to come to the actions. Then you need to store the action in that page class. For example, once you have identified the username field, now what you need to do? You need to type a password. You need to type a username. You need to click. So these are basically actions, right? So all these will be written in the page classes, and all these are separated, right? They are not in the test. Then you have a test classes where basically it contains all the tests. Okay, so tests are separate from the locators and their actions. So tomorrow, if there is any change in the locator, you simply open that file and update. Regardless if there are 1,000 test cases using those locators, you need to update at one place. Similarly, if there is any change in the action, okay, or you need to define new action, you need to update on one single page. Okay, now let's discuss about the benefits of the POM. The first benefit is that it will improve the readability of your test. So your test will look like a real business step. So as a business step, you will be going to a page using typing the admin as a username, password, and clicking on this one. So it will look like a real business step. Secondly, the benefit of using the methods is that you can use those methods in your multiple test cases. For example, you have created a method to login. Just giving you an example over here. Now, if you want to log in before executing your hundreds of the test cases, and the same, this is just like a precondition. So, precondition for your 100 test cases is to log in first. Now, you have created one function and you need to call that function in your multiple test cases. So, you don't need to write the same code again and again. Third thing is the maintainability. Just like I said earlier, you need to update only at one place because you have separated the locators and the actions from the actual test. So if there's any change in the locator, so you just need to update the locator at one place, which is in the class, page class. Okay. And final is abstraction, because testers don't need to worry about the implementation details. So they just need to call those functions and test case is ready. So now what I will do is that let me show you the framework so that you can map these concepts with the real framework. Now in the framework you can see that we have the pages folder, and inside that we will be creating a page object for the each web page. So for this demonstration I will be using the source demo. So let's go to this website. So as soon as you log in into this one or enter this URL basically, so you will land on this login page. Now it has multiple elements like this one, this one, this one, right? So as an automation tester, what we will do is that instead of writing everything in a single class or in a single file, what we will do is that we will separate the locators and their actions, and all these will be in the pages. So if I go here, so you see that this is the pages folder. Inside this we have a login underscore page. So we have a class and it is basically using the base page. I will explain this later what is the base page and how it works. But right now just understand the page object model concept. So we have a class and this login page class has the username password. So basically we are locating the elements over here. Okay, now these are not the part of your test. We are just locating the element in this class, and then we have the function. So when you are working with the Python, so functions are defined using the def keyword, and this is the first function. So first function is doing basically opening the web application. Now again, this is not a part of your test. Okay, in the test we will be just calling these functions. I will call this load function. So the load means that it will load this www.sourcedemo.com. Okay, then I have a login function. Now this function is basically using these things, username, password, and login, and it will basically perform these actions. So here you see that we are typing, filling the data, right? And again, this is not hard coded here, okay? But this function basically taking the arguments, okay? Now your page is defined. So tomorrow if there is change any locator, what I will do is that simply come here and update this locator. That's it. So it will automatically reflect on all the places where this particular locator is being used. Similarly, if there is any change in the URL, okay, for example, this is a change and now this URL is being used 10 times or 100 times in your test, you don't need to update in 100 places. You simply need to update over here. Okay. Now you see that it has the functions. Similarly, we have an inventory page, and again we have different locators and the actions we are performing. Okay, so this is like loading this one, adding the first product, open the cart. So these are different actions we need to perform on the inventory page. So if I go here and let's log in with this particular user, and what we are saying is that we are clicking on this add to cart button for the first product, then we are going to this one, then going to checkout. So this whole process will be automated. So for every page we will be creating a page object file. It will contain the locators and their actions. Now let's come to the test part over here. So if I go here and go to this test folder, so inside this folder you will be having your all test. Okay, so let's suppose this is the login test, and here you see that we are just calling the functions just like a business step, login dot load. So this is a load method which is basically being called from this particular login underscore page. Now when we call this one here, so basically it will log in into the application. Okay, and we are providing the username and password. But what you can do is that right now this is a hard-coded value, but you can also get this value from your test data. We can define the test data by creating a folder over here for test data or the utilities, and from there we can just call this one. And finally we are doing a set. So you see that this is a very simple test case over here. Instead of writing everything like locating performing the actions. We are not doing this thing in the test. Our focus is that to make it as simple as possible, as maintainable as possible, right? And similarly, we have this test.checkout. So again, it needs to load the application. It needs to log in, right? So we are not repeating the login step like driver.find, username.find, password, providing the value. We are just calling this function and providing the values. And you see that it's really simple over here. Okay. And now, if I go here, conftest. So basically, this is a file where you need to define the driver. Now, the driver is basically, I'm talking about the web driver over here. So, for example, if your test needs some specific Chrome options, you can define over here. Okay, so you need to define once. That's why this is a part of conftest. So basically, it's a browser setup. So how we want to launch the browser, with which settings we need to launch. Similarly, we have the tear down for this one. Maximize, and this yield means that we are tearing down the driver over here. So we don't want to repeat these steps as well for the test. These are defined, so every test case will utilize these configurations when we are executing the test, right? So let me summarize today's session. So basically, the page object model is basically a design pattern. Now, this design pattern means that we have the page object for each web page. So this is web page, each web page. And inside this, we are storing the locators, and we are storing the actions. Now, when we're talking about the actions, I'm referring to clicking on a button, typing something. And when we are writing the actions, so basically we are creating functions or the methods which we can call in our test cases. Then we have this test folder where we just calling those functions to make it simple. And in terms of the benefits, we already discussed: improve the readability, reusability, maintainability, and abstraction. So tester don't need to worry about the implementation details. So for example, if tester needs to write this particular test case, tester don't need to worry about how this function is working. Usually, when we are working on the real-time projects, your architect or the senior automation engineer or the team lead usually develop these things, the architecture and everything. And mostly, if you are working as a junior automation engineer, you just need to call those functions, just implement the test, because this particular part in terms of developing a framework is mainly a responsibility of automation architect or lead or automation manager, the senior person. But it is easier for you as a tester to implement the test.